Homeland insecurity. Jay Johnson announces that the detention of immigrant families once they've established eligibility for asylum should end. In that statement, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary writes, and I quote, "I've reached the conclusion that we must make substantial changes in our detention practices with respect to families with children." In short, once a family has established eligibility for asylum or other relief under our laws, long-term detention is an inefficient use of our resources and should be discontinued. For more, let's bring in political analyst Dick Morris. Dick is the co-author of the bestseller Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Dick, as always, it's good to have you here on Newsmax Prime. Well, it's not as if you haven't warned people.
Yeah.
You talked about asylum specifically, and I saw that's where the Homeland Secretary was going.
Yep. Well, that's part of an effort by the Bush administration to recategorize all the illegals come in as asylum seekers,
Friendly
refugees.
Amendment Obama administration.
What did I say?
Bush. It's okay. That just
Freudian slip.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
By categorizing them as refugees. And the United Nations has a formula for refugees under which they could require us to admit those folks if they find that they're fleeing political or other persecution. But one of the big things that's going on right now is the Republican Party is about to vote fast-track authority to the president. And for the last 2 months, Republicans have been saying, oh, you're going to use that for immigration. And he has said no. Obama said no. Read the trade treaty I'm negotiating, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. It's not in the public, but you can see it if you have security clearance. And apparently it has nothing about immigration. Last week, WikiLeaks released for the first time the draft treaty that's coming online behind that, TISA, Trade in Services Agreement. And bang, right there in Section 5, it says that no nation may stop a company from transferring its workers from one signatory country to the other. So if Sheraton Hotels wants to take all of its Eastern European busboys and waiters and waitresses and everything and move them to the United States, it doesn't have to pay comparable wages. It doesn't have to say there's nobody else who can fill the job. And what this does is American manufacturing has been decimated by foreign competition. But services, no, because you can't perform a service unless you're here. But this says, bring them over here, pay them less than an American, take away the job, and Congress has no power to limit it. It's on the basis of this that Ted Cruz flipped on this issue and voted against fast track yesterday.